What if you were born as the desert's steadfast ship, your humps rising like sails against the endless sands, a symbol of endurance that carries you across the blistering dunes, only to find your soul parched by a life of relentless thirst and unyielding toil? Meet the Camel, resilient marvel of the arid world. Its ability to store fat in its humps and survive weeks without water, a lifeline for humans traversing the vast Sahara, the wind-swept Gobi, and the rugged steppes beyond, shaping ancient trade routes and cultures with its plodding, dignified grace. Yet, to the forces of nature and the hands of humanity alike, you're a beast of burden, exploited for labor in caravans and wars, hunted for your hide and meat, and abandoned when your strength wanes under the weight of their demands. Beneath this stoic, weathered exterior lies a tale of silent, profound struggle, exhaustion that bends your frame, isolation that echoes in your desolate cries, and a thirst that gnaws at your spirit, never fully quenched, even in the rare oasis. Join us on this evocative journey to explore the Camel's hidden hardships, and if this stirs your compassion, hit like, share your reflections in the comments, and subscribe for more stories that uncover nature's untold trials and inspire us to honor its silent warriors. Chapter 1: A harsh birth in the sands. You enter the world on the scorching, unforgiving desert floor. A calf born after a grueling year-long gestation, your fragile legs wobbling under the relentless glare of the sun as the burning sand sears your newborn skin, your mother's broad body casting the only sliver of shade in a sea of heat. Predators like jackals, with their scavenging hunger, or hyenas, with their opportunistic prowls, lurk at the edges, drawn by your vulnerability, their eyes glinting with intent as they wait for a moment of weakness. Dehydration threatens if water is scarce, your tiny body unable to regulate the loss, while sandstorms whip around, threatening to bury your first breaths. The first days are a brutal test of survival, your weak, plaintive cries lost in the howling wind, a desperate call for sustenance in a world that offers little comfort. To be a camel is to begin with a harsh birth, your life, a fragile, trembling start in a desert that spares no mercy, your existence forged in the crucible of arid hardship from the moment you touch the ground. Chapter 2: The burden of the humps. Your humps, majestic reservoirs of fat that sustain you through weeks without water, are a desert lifeline, converting stored energy into survival during the harshest droughts. But they weigh you down with a relentless burden, straining your spine and joints under the heavy loads humans pile upon you, or the long, exhausting treks across shifting dunes. Overuse by overzealous handlers depletes these reserves, leaving your humps sagging and your body weak, a symbol of endurance turned into a source of exhaustion. The pressure on your frame intensifies with each step, your muscles aching under the dual demand of nature and man, turning your gift into a constant trial. To be a camel is to bear the burden of the humps, a biological marvel that exhausts you, a silent testament to your strength in a world that pushes you beyond your limits, your stoic silhouette a mask for the toll it takes. Chapter 3: Exploited by human hands. Humans load you with good spices, silks, and weapons, driving you across blistering dunes and rocky passes until your legs tremble and your knees buckle, your strength drained to fuel trade routes or wartime campaigns, your humps swaying under the weight of their greed. Abandonment follows when you falter, left to die in the sands as a broken tool, your loyalty unreturned. The crack of whips and the shouts of drivers fill your days, your grunts of protest ignored, your role reduced to a means to an end. To be a camel is to be exploited, a desert ship serving ungrateful masters who see your endurance as infinite. Your life, a servitude that ends in neglect when your utility fades. Chapter 4: Thirst in an arid world. You survive weeks without water, your body conserving moisture with remarkable efficiency, but the extreme heat of the day and the biting cold of night sap your reserves. Your thirst, a constant gnawing ache that lingers even after a rare drink, your cells crying out in the dry expanse. Salt from the desert crust and the sweat of your labor intensify this torment, your humps offering only temporary relief as they shrink. The search for an oasis becomes a desperate quest, your long lashes shielding eyes that scan a horizon of despair. To be a camel is to endure thirst, a soul parched in an arid world, your resilience a quiet battle against a landscape that denies you peace. Chapter 5, Hunted 4 parts. Poachers target you for your tough hide, prized for leather, and your meat. A resource in remote regions, their traps and rifles thinning herds despite international bans like CITES. Habitat loss drives you into their reach. Your once vast ranges now crisscrossed with human trails, while corruption undermines protection efforts. The snap of a snare or the echo of a gunshot shatters the desert silence, your majestic form reduced to a carcass in moments. To be a camel is to be hunted, a resource in a ruthless trade, your life stripped for profit in a world that values your parts over your spirit. Chapter 6, The Struggle Against Predators. You fend off wolves and jackals with powerful bone-crushing kicks from your sturdy legs, a defense that sends predators reeling. But calves and the weak fall prey to their coordinated attacks, your size a mixed blessing that aids survival yet marks you as a target. The desert night amplifies their threat, your dark silhouette a beacon under the moon, each encounter draining your energy as you protect your kin. Your grunts of defiance ring out, a rare break in your silence, a constant fight etched in your cautious tread. To be a camel is to struggle against predators, a desert warrior whose strength is tested by a world that preys on your vulnerability. Chapter 7, Isolation in the Dunes. You roam in loose shifting groups, but the demands of labor and the vastness of the desert fray deep bonds, leaving you solitary if a wound slows you or a storm separates you, your soft moans lost in the wind-swept sands. Unlike herd animals, you lack a tight community to share your burden, your isolation a heavy cloak that deepens with each lonely trek. The horizon stretches endlessly, your companions mere shadows, your spirit yearning for connection in a world that keeps you apart. To be a camel is to face isolation, a lone traveler in the dunes, your thirsty soul adrift in a sea of solitude. Chapter 8, Disease and Injury. Wounds from heavy loads or territorial fights with rivals fester under the desert sun. The heat-breeding infections, while diseases like camelpox or trypanosomiasis spread in crowded markets or water points, weakening your frame. Your isolation prevents treatment, your body worn by untreated sores and the strain of your labor. The sand grinds into every cut, a silent agony, your stoic demeanor hiding a life of pain. To be a camel is to endure disease and injury, a body ravaged by hardship, your endurance a mask for the toll it takes. Chapter 9, The Peril of Migration. You migrate for water and sparse vegetation, your caravan crossing dunes and wadis, but sandstorms blind your path, and human barriers like fences or roads block your route, risking exhaustion or death from dehydration. The journey strains your calves and elders, turning a natural rhythm into a perilous race against time. The wind howls, sand stinging your eyes, your migration a desperate bid for survival. To be a camel is to face migration's peril, a journey through danger where every step tests your desert resilience. Chapter 10, A Mirror to Our Responsibility. The camel reflects our flaws. We exploit its strength for our gain. drain its resources with relentless demands, ignore its solitude in the vast dunes, and shun our duty to care for its welfare. This desert ship calls us to honor its labor, protect its arid home, and learn from its endurance. A mirror urging responsibility and compassion in a world that often forgets its debt to such silent servants. Ending desert ship, thirsty soul, what does it mean to be a camel? It means beginning with a harsh birth on the burning sands, bearing the burden of humps exploited by human hands that know no gratitude, thirsting in an arid world that offers little relief. You struggle against predators with every weary step, endure the isolation of the dunes, face disease and the peril of migration, your soul a silent, thirsty plea for kindness. If this moved you, hit like, share your thoughts in comments, and subscribe for more Worst to be Born as stories that inspire us to cherish these desert wanderers.